Alright, so today we're going to be fixing the brakes on my 2004 Chevy Silverado 2500. They just started grinding here a few days ago. I should have been on top of it checking them more, but they just started grinding, so we're going to take a look at see what we got going on here. Alright, of course with any brake job, the first thing you got to do is pull the tire off. These are just plastic 7/8. You spin them loose and this cover will come off. And then these are also 7/8. I already broke them loose with a breaker bar. This is a nice impact Milwaukee makes, but it was just not enough to get them broke loose. Where'd that other nut go? So we got the tire off and confirmed that there is no more brake pad material left. It's metal on metal grinding, and the back side of the rotor's pretty tore up. Probably have to replace the rotors on top of the pads. See if the calipers are sticking. Go from there. We gotta find our Torx bit set for these caliper bolts. Takes a, I think it's a T50. I'm not sure. I'll find out here when I get them. That's inconvenient. Need a Torx bit to get those off, but we'll get back with you once we find the Torx bits and get this apart. Alright, so we did find our Torx bit set, and it is a T55, but it doesn't fit in there. So we're going to have to take the whole caliper bracket off first. And that is two 18mm bolts, one on the top and one on the bottom. Alright, so once you get them two 18mm bolts off, one on the top, one on the bottom, you can pull your caliper off and set it up here on the leaf spring out of the way. And these brakes pads are shot. There's nothing. There is no pad left at all. So, alright, so I got these two T55s out that hold this bracket on to the caliper. Got the bracket out, and then I was able to get the pads out. They're totally junk. And I see this caliper has a rip boot and stuff. Even if I did get it to go back in, it'd probably start. I don't know. I can't believe it's not already leaking. But I'm not going to put that back on here. Everything's rusty, crusty junk. We're going to have quite the bill when we get done with this one. Alright, so we're over here to the passenger side now, and this one is, well, it's rusty and crusty, but the other side, the caliper went bad. It's stuck out, and that's why the rotor's all tore up and the pads are gone. The pads are actually not good on this side, but they're not bad. They're not gone on this side. So this caliper and stuff might be good. I'll determine whether I replace it or not once I pull it out of here. Ready to go?
It's recording, jackass.
Should I put that in there? Alright, so we decided to, we're just replacing everything. Everything's rusty, junk. It's done its purpose. So we have to take these calipers in. You always have a core charge on your calipers, and the trick so you don't lose all your fluid when you're in town getting the new ones is clamping this rubber line off with a vice grip or something, so while you're gone you don't lose all your fluid. Alright, so we're back from the parts store here. Got all the stuff. Mrs. D said I spent my allowance for the week. Yeah. But I wanted to show you guys something that's pretty cool. They actually come with these brackets, which I was worried because on mine the rubber boot here was all ripped out on both of them, and these slides were all seized up and rusty and stuff, and I thought I was going to have to do a lot of work cleaning those up to get them to work again. So that's nice. One less step. So we're going to get back to work getting these installed now. Okay, so we're loading up the calipers with new pads. Also, these wear brackets or whatever they are. Got those in on either side, and I'm putting the pads in now. And you can put these in without taking this bracket off of the caliper if you just slide that bracket back, and you can fit the pad in back through behind there, and then slide her up into place. Alright, so we got the new rotors here. Now it's important to get them out of the plastic and don't touch the brake surface with your greasy mitts. If you do, clean it off with brake fluid or brake cleaner. Ooh. Alright, so when you reattach your hose, these ones are good. I don't know, you could get a new hose too, but you're going to want to make sure to really clean up the mating surface so you don't have any leaks. Alright, so they supplied me with a new bolt, so I don't have to use the old crusty one. It comes with a copper washer to seal it. 2 of them, one on each side of this connecting block. Alright, so here's a little trick. Release your vice grips and let it flow. That'll get the air out of the line. You hook this up. Get your 11mm in the right direction. You want to tighten this down pretty good to crush those copper washers and seal it. And then you get your rubber duck off. Get your 10mm and open up your bleeder valve. Let that drip a little bit. And gravity bleed, it's called. That way, if it works right, you shouldn't have to bleed your brakes. Alright, so here is a trick for bleeding the brakes. Get yourself a bottle, cut a hole in the top and a tube that fits on your bleeder. And then you just open up your bleeder. And watch for bubbles. Okay, pump it. See, there's bubbles coming through. As soon as it's clear fluid without any bubbles, you tighten her back up and you're done bleeding. Alright, so that's the video on how to replace the rear brakes on a 2004 Silverado 2500. Listen, no grinding.